I'd only joined the group date to make up the numbers, and I was basically invisible in the corner. At first, all the men's eyes were on the heiress, Reika Kiryu. As everyone showered her ambitious project with praise, I couldn't help blurting out a single line that cut to the heart of it. With this business scheme, the biggest variable is how the anti-government factions will move. The room went quiet, but she was different. She alone understood the weight of what I'd said and looked straight at me. My name is Aoi, 30. I work in intelligence analysis for a certain undisclosed unit within a government agency. My job is to monitor and analyze, around the clock, the movements of international terror networks and high-value individuals. Among the countless streams of data displayed on my monitors, there was a file on the Kiryu Group's Africa Resource Development Project, flagged because resources in conflict zones can turn into funding streams for terror groups. Because my work involves classified information, I'm strictly forbidden from revealing my identity. I tell people I work at a data analytics firm. I've been bad at speaking in public since I was a kid, especially with women. I get intensely nervous. Maybe that's why an analyst's job suited me. Little need to be front and center. That fear traces back to something that happened in my second year of high school. A classmate on the library committee asked me to cover her shift. All I had to do was say sure, but my heart pounded, my face burned, and I barely croaked out okay, earning teasing from nearby friends. The belief that I'd act weird around girls hardened and stuck into adulthood, so I never really dated. At 30, still single, I spent my days buried in work, dragging myself back to a one-room apartment. One Friday evening, my college friend Sato begged me to fill a last-minute spot on a group date. I resisted, but he insisted it was just to relax. A change might not be bad, I thought, and I eventually agreed, warning that I couldn't liven up the mood. If you suddenly got chatty, that'd be the shock, he laughed. The venue was a high-end Tokyo restaurant. I looked presentable, but felt small at the entrance, and quietly listened to introductions from the edge. One seat on the women's side was empty. "Sorry, I'm late," said a clear, cool voice as Reika Kiryu arrived. She was striking. The men's eyes changed. "Kiryu," as in that Kiryu conglomerate? Sato whispered that she was the famous heiress, MBA from an elite overseas university. A project name from my monitors flickered through my mind. Could this be the person in charge of that flagged case? The other women seemed to fade as the men flattered Reika. I silently ate, thinking someone like me would never catch her attention, but something nagged at me, and I murmured, "With this scheme, the key variables are the local resource price volatility and the moves by anti-government forces." The room fell quiet. No one else seemed to get it. Only Reika did. She looked straight at me and smiled. "Our field places the highest value on data analysis right now. I'd love to hear more from you." It wasn't small talk. My heart leapt. She wasn't an ordinary heiress. She could see to the core of people. Feeling everyone's eyes on me, I hedged. Sorry. I'm just a salaryman. Please treat that as a random mutter." The mood wobbled, but Sato steered things back. As the night wound down, Reika approached. "Mr. Aoi, right? Your analysis was fascinating. If you're willing, could we set a time for business consulting?" "Yes, if it's just personal opinions." She handed me a sleek card, then seemed to think of something and swallow it back, a flicker of worry crossing her face. Outside, a man stepped from a black luxury car, Kenzaki, from a rival firm, and apparently a family-backed prospective fiancé. "Rika, Not this foolishness again. Come home with me, he scolded, trying to force her into the car. She refused politely but coldly. Thank you for your concern, but I'll take a taxi. If your father knew you were meeting commoners, he'd be furious. Talking to some nobody man is a waste of your time, he sneered at me. People who look down on others. That's the worst, she said flatly, and left by taxi. The next morning at work, a headline froze me. Kiryu conglomerate to resolve resource conflicts in war zones, introducing illegal mining surveillance system. International contribution, with a large photo of Rika. She would lead a multi-billion-yen effort to monitor illegal mining, a terror funding source, and stabilize the region. She really was in a world I shouldn't intrude upon. I hesitated to message her. That evening, an emergency broke. Intelligence indicated that a terror group funded by the target region planned a large-scale attack in Japan to sabotage Reika's project. Further digging showed the rival company, Kenzaki's firm, was funneling money to that terror group, and Kenzaki himself was stealing confidential info from Reika as a spy, even helping choose targets. The malice stunned me. I reported it immediately, but my superior wouldn't act. We can't move on this. Hand it to public security. I did something I never do. Talked back. Are we going to sit on our hands? It'll be too late once people get hurt. He was shocked but unmoved. If you defy my orders, you know the consequences. Back at my desk, my hands trembled. What I was about to do was unforgivable in our line of work, but I couldn't let it go. Her life could be in danger. I wanted to help Rika, be useful to her. I dialed the number on her card. This is Reika Kiryu, she answered on the second ring. It's Aoi, I said. You really called, she replied, genuinely happy. Defying my superior felt right, even if it cost me my career. Could we meet somewhere discreet? I have something important to tell you. I'll cancel a meeting. There's a shabby old cafe near our office. Quiet at this hour. The cafe felt like a hobby shop run by an old man, with quiet jazz. After I arrived, I told her, I've been looking into what you mentioned. I work at a data analytics company, but by deeply analyzing public sources and economic stats, I believe a grave threat is closing in on your project. Her eyes widened. Then, as I showed data on suspicious money flows at Kenzaki's company and the conflict situation, she seemed convinced. You got this far with public information. Last night, I felt instinctively that you were different. No mercenary vibe. I felt I could trust you, she smiled. I urged her to stay alert and not to trust Kenzaki. I'll find a channel to anonymously provide high-confidence intel, so police and the relevant agencies can act formally. Please prioritize your safety. I kept pressing my boss, and finally laid down decrypted terror communications, execution time and location, the perpetrator's safe house, even the vehicles to be used. Faced with decisive data, he relented. I'll take full responsibility. We'll coordinate a covert joint task force with the Cabinet Cyber Crisis Center and the National Police Agency. You'll continue as the team's analyst. This stays off the record. My analysis was relayed to the Special Police Unit. Thanks to that, Kenzaki's plot was thwarted, and the attack was stopped at the water's edge. After the case, Reika and I sat across from each other at the same upscale restaurant. I can't thank you enough. Because of you, the project can proceed smoothly. It's all thanks to you, Mr. Aoi. She'd said it so many times I could only blush. I'm just happy I could help, and that you're safe. She smiled gently, Meeting someone as sincere as you feels like a miracle. Family background and job titles don't matter. What matters is the essence of a person. Then came the words that stunned me. If you'd like, would you go out with me? I'd spent years thinking, someone like me, but I couldn't let this once-in-a-lifetime chance pass. I'm truly glad I met you too. I'd love to. My unofficial contributions were highly valued, and I was transferred, on the record, to a frontline division analyzing international affairs. For me, it was a dramatic promotion. A year later, after a steady relationship, we announced our marriage. Kiryu conglomerate heiress marries elite government official A, the headlines read. My exact affiliation and face remained undisclosed. From my public post, I continue to support Reika's international project, and she deeply understands my work. People call us an ideal couple. I vowed to cherish the days I walk alongside Reika, now and always.